Hi YouTube. Welcome to a video about vintage trailer deck demolition. What follows is going to be a very fast time show of me taking the deck off of a 1960s era trailer that the camper shell's already been removed off of. There's going to be another video about that. Just kind of showing techniques, tactics, and oh, the great fun it is to rip off a deck off an old trailer. And then at the end, as I'm talking about what it was like to do it. And throughout, I have got a really nice Creative Commons piece of music that's going to be playing called Chill and Ice. And if you watch the video, I hope you enjoy all of it. Thank you. So as you can see, I'm down to the very last part that needs to be removed before this thing is totally stripped off. And I thought it'd be a good place to make some comments. So all the rot that happened to this camper, most of it was from water coming through windows that had lost their seals. And when that happens and a camper is just sitting around in a field somewhere, the water just makes that rot get worse and worse and worse over the years. And what's interesting is the main leaks were in the back and in the front, and so the center here is really very solid still. This is going to be the hardest part to remove. And this is my first time doing this, so I didn't really done my homework before accepting this trailer. Although it was free, it was the man just wanted it gone from his garage. It did take me a lot of time and effort, but it was also a lot of learning and doing this for the first time. I didn't really look at whether or not the trailer, I just made the assumption that the trailer was going to be good under all the rotten and half-destroyed framework of the top. But I'm not sure really what I'm looking at here, but there is a lot of rust. Structurally seems okay, but some of the flanges, like in the very back there, the flanges very rusted out. So I'm not sure how much work I want to do on the trailer itself in terms of wiring off all the rust or repainting it. I mean, these axles are pretty bad. I'm going to go around and just point out some of that. And of course this has got to come off, and it's the most secure thing on here right now. So one of the things I like about these Mobile Scouts is that the front tongue is really long. I've seen some other campers where the tongue only comes out to about here, and that makes it bad for backing up because it's the short. If it's really short, you have a more chance of the side of your trailer hitting the back of your pickup truck or your tow vehicle, because if you make those sharp turns, it can bang it. But with this long one, it's almost impossible to hit the back of your trailer. And I really like the way the tongue works on this. It's got a great jack. The tongue is strong. Everything works fine. The ball attachment works fine. Yeah, so as you might expect from a 55, 60-year-old trailer base, there's a lot of rust on it. Now those are brand new tires. I did find out that it had electric brakes at some point, and here's the wire that goes into the electric brakes inside there. But I don't think I'm going to ever make those operating again. The rust that bothers me is like on this bolt, and I haven't even really inspected it before making this discussion, but it's really, you could never really remove that properly without putting a new bolt in it. So I don't know. From the outside, I'm not sure what he did when he put new tires on it. Looks like they took it off, and looks like these are okay. But back here, see, this is like not, you can't shave that off and clean it up. It's too far rusted, too much. Although the frame is okay, so maybe I'll clean some of the rust off. Maybe I mean, I don't have any welding skills, but I could ask someone, a friend of mine, to cut this off, put a new one on, or I could just leave it alone. It's really not very strong now. I mean, look at that wobble. And this back part here is pretty much completely rusted through at the bottom, but the whole thing is strong. And actually, I guess it's not that bad. So we'll do at least a little bit of cleaning up that rust with a wire brush, wheel, and stuff like that, sander. Then I'm going to put a new deck on top of it. I'm thinking of going with this wood called 5/4 inch, because 2x4 is just, I mean, it's too much for what this trailer is going to wind up doing. It's going to be a light duty hauler for long pieces of wood, basically. And if I put treated 2x4, it's going to be expensive, and it's going to be heavier. The 2x4s themselves will be heavy. So there's this kind of wood called 5/4 inch, and I never heard of it until recently, but people use it on their decks a lot, and I've been seeing it over at Depot, so it's treated, or I'm going to make sure it's treated, and I'll just throw that on top of there. So you see these here are bolts that come through, and they're a pain in the butt when you're demoing this, because once you start spinning that bolt on the bottom, well, the whole thing just spins and there's nothing to grab onto the top. So these have been mostly just, I mean, as you can see, because they're still there, mostly just ripping the stuff off around it and just ripping it off. But anyhow, it's been pretty fun learning about what's underneath these guys. And since it was free, it's nothing to sneeze at. Just cost me some time and adds up to some learning about something that I like a lot.